5 o'clock, buddy. Yeah, 5 o'clock, 5 o'clock. They are fixing it, almost done. Hang in there for a 5 o'clock descent. Welcome to the epic downfall of High Van Pass today. Every single gas tanker trying to cross this mountain has been brought to a grinding halt. Why? Because down below at the curve of death, one single tractor trailer decided to give up the ghost, completely paralyzing this entire convoy. So we are currently witnessing the grand annual convention of gas tankers, folks. Every fuel truck that usually breezes through High Van Pass has been forced to set up camp right here. I am going to film this glorious blockbuster for you, so we can count the casualties together. 5 o'clock descent, guys! Normally, you do not get a VIP ticket to a parking lot like this. But today is a truly magical day for the fuel transport community. Do you see this masterpiece? They have been lining up forever, and I have lost count of how many rigs are just chilling here. The weather up on the pass today is putting on quite a show with all this lovely fog. Look at this. Hino, Hyundai, heavy-duty rigs of all flavors just taking a nap on the asphalt, going absolutely nowhere. Total surrender. Let us take a little detour and see what kind of disaster is happening down below. Here we go. Down here we have a magnificent flatbed trailer parked horizontally across the road, making it wonderfully impossible for anyone to get by. And look at the lower section, holding an equally impressive collection of vehicles forced to play the waiting game. Let us continue filming the sequel to this massive traffic jam. The cast is mostly fuel tankers. The lucky passenger buses and standard semi-trucks got the memo early and smartly detoured through the tunnel. But these gas tankers? Zero alternative routes. They just have to swallow their pride, kill the engines, and enjoy the beautiful asphalt. Oh, and just past this curve, the tragedy continues. So if any trucker wives out there are wondering why their husband's paycheck is a little light at the end of the month, here is your grand explanation. Right here. I am now walking down to the exact curve where the offending vehicle decided to die. Here it is. Wow. Just a flawless parking job, blocking the entire curve. Absolutely stunning. This right here might just be the most dramatic, tear-jerking, joyful moment for all the drivers who have been held hostage here since this morning. The hero of our story, that broken-down tractor-trailer, has finally been evicted from the curve. Currently, the Grand High Van Pass has graciously allowed traffic to resume its normal, boring flow at this exact spot. The weather up here today is playing hard to get, but honestly, it is a massive stroke of luck. Think about it. The majority of the stranded VIPs here are rolling bombs hauling fuel, highly flammable chemicals and explosives. If the sun had decided to crank the heat up to a classic sweltering day, Having a massive gathering of combustible liquids baking on the asphalt would have been a spectacular recipe for disaster. It is absurdly crowded, approaching 100 trucks, folks. No exaggeration. But alas, the Red Sea has parted. You can observe these majestic beasts slowly creeping forward to finally get on with their lives. In my entire illustrious career of filming mountain traffic on High Van Pass, this is genuinely the very first time I have been treated to a blockbuster scene quite like this. Countless vehicles were forced into this involuntary timeout. And right now, we have an endless, glorious conga line of trucks trying to navigate this one tiny curve. On an average, unexciting day, the most action I ever catch is maybe 10 trucks tailgating each other over the mountain. But today, please, feel free to do the math for me. Look at these lovely tanker trucks finally resuming their epic quests. With the crisis of the day unfolding, the main stars of this parking lot are undeniably the tankers. The regular shipping containers and the tourist buses actually used their brains, heard the warnings, and booked it through the tunnel instead. The fuel tankers and hazardous chemical haulers? Yeah, they do not get choices in life. They had to sit tight, endure the misery until the roadblock was cleared, and only now are they allowed to move. We are pushing late afternoon now, folks, right around 5 o'clock in the afternoon. That is how long it took to clear one single mess. And up the mountain, the never-ending parade of tankers is still rolling down. Today is going down in the history books for High Van Pass. This specific curve is an absolute nightmare to navigate. Truckers have to treat it like defusing a bomb. But all those fuel rigs that did not make it past the checkpoint this morning got a VIP pass to Gridlock City. Down in the lower section, you can also observe the brave traffic enforcement officers out there playing an intense game of lane management to pretend there is still order and safety in this chaos. Oh, and adding to the Hollywood production value this morning, I even spotted 2 massive fire engines rolling up, just to make sure our highly flammable traffic jam did not turn into an action movie explosion. As the afternoon drags on, the fog is rolling in thick, practically deleting visibility. But let us be brutally honest, we struck gold. If this had happened right at high noon on a typical scorching day, having this many rolling gasoline tanks sitting bumper to bumper on a mountain pass would be the definition of a death trap. Miraculously, the weather gods gave us a break today. It stayed at a breezy 80 degrees Fahrenheit up here, practically sweater weather. Right now is peak rush hour for this mountain drama. Mostly just gravity doing its work from the top down. The poor souls trying to drive up the mountain, still held in captivity, waiting for their turn. Honestly, on a mundane day, catching a thrilling sequence of 4 or 5 trucks taking this curve together is a massive achievement. Yet today, feast your eyes on nearly 100 roaring beasts playing Follow the Leader. I have positioned myself up high in the nosebleed seats to give you the ultimate cinematic wide shot. Obviously, because I am so far up, the fog is ruining the high-definition experience, so please accept my apologies for the moody, blurry aesthetic. Up here on Highvan Pass, the majority of the traffic consists of our brave drivers hauling oil, gasoline, chemicals, and explosive fuels from regions way out in Hue, Quang Binh, or Quang Tri. They are forced to conquer this pass to drop off their hazardous goodies down at the Da Nang depots. That is why this video looks like a casting call specifically for license plates 75, 74, and 73. And finally, the green light. The tankers stuck at the bottom are miraculously being allowed to crawl up the hill. The endless supply of trucks coming from the top is still pouring down, of course. Down at the infamous curve, the VIP traffic cops are still standing their ground, playing orchestra conductors to keep these massive rigs from hitting each other. Glancing at this spectacular fuel convoy, it seems the majority of today's victims were traveling over from the Da Nang side. The poor guys coming from the Hue side actually dodged the bullet. There are way fewer of them. Our front row contestants likely finished their early morning fuel drops, headed back, and smashed right into this disaster, forcing them into parking mode. The late sleepers coming from Hue missed the main event, hence the lower body count on that side. Right here. Hey, cut the camera, man. And now, the lower-level hostages are finally mounting their glorious ascent. It seems the avalanche of trucks coming down the mountain has mercifully started to thin out. At long last, our downhill drivers are tasting freedom and moving upward. Oh, and the villain of our story? The broken-down tractor-trailer is still sitting there, utterly refusing to budge until it gets some last-minute cosmetic repairs before continuing its journey. I have got to say, today was a cinematic masterpiece that I will never forget. Have any of you lucky viewers ever been trapped in a mountain pass hostage situation like this on Highvan? Please, drop your trauma stories in the comments so we can all suffer together. And on that beautiful note, I am going to finally pull the plug on this video. If you genuinely enjoy watching massive rigs battle the laws of physics on mountain passes, toss a share my way and smash that subscribe button. Your support is the only reason I keep risking my sanity to bring you these highly attractive updates, on the absolute chaos out here on High Van Pass for your viewing pleasure. But for now, it is time for my grand exit. I will catch you all in the next episode of Mountain Gridlock. Stay safe out there, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.